So one of the curiosities of this engine, and I briefly touched about it before, but here we go with the more in-depth as we take it apart. I just ran through and knocked the posi locks loose, about to take the valve train off. But before I do that, I want this to be seen. So we're looking here at number 3 and number 7, exhaust. And the rockers are canted. Your push rods are, of course I just loosened it up, so that messed everything up. But they have been riding right here on this push rod journal. The main issue, backtrack a little bit, he wanted to do the Holley because it was running rough. He thought that carburetor was just too much carburetor for this engine without the blower or whatever. So he wanted to swap over to the Holley. It was popping and banging and running extremely rich, and just there was a lot going on. So he thought that the Holley was going to solve some of the problem. And, part of the process, change the plugs, right? So I removed the plugs from the get-go, and number 6 here was squeaky clean. All the rest of them were fouled. Number 8 was actually broken. The porcelain was broken. Some kind of way still firing through the broken porcelain because it was fouled. And number 1, the spark plug was, the boot itself was really loose. It wouldn't clip on. So just kind of hanging out. Who knows what kind of misfiring was going on over here at number 1 because of the defective boot. But the curiosity of why number 6 was squeaky clean, and I was like, I don't know, but it's not good, whatever it is. So that led to some diagnostic work. We checked spark, it sparked. We checked compression, no compression. So I knocked the valve cover off and saw, I'll see if I can inset a picture of it, but both of these guides, this has since been replaced, so not, whatever. But this stud was broken and was laid off somewhere. This rocker arm was obviously no longer connected, and it was laid in here, and pieces of the guide plate, these 2 pieces right here, the ears had snapped off, and they were laid up in the block. No, I stand corrected. This one was not broke off. This ear was. This one, because the guide plate kind of shifted, pinched the push rod, like I said before, and it had it pinched up against the cylinder head itself, and that's just so happened, got lucky, and pinched it at the top of the stroke. So it wasn't like it was jammed down there or whatever, maybe it pinched it down and the lifters might have ended up beating it up some to where it kind of cleared itself. But, the initial review was there was the damage here, and took the intake manifold off to pull the lifters. Didn't see any problem on the lifters, and then look down, you're not gonna be able to see nothing, but look down the lifter bore, spun the engine over a couple times. I didn't see anything wrong with the cam lobe. So at that point, the decision on his end was made. Let's get some repair parts and move forward, right? So cool. Later on, the decision was made after these parts were done, just a little bit of peace of mind, cut the filter open. He already took the filter material with him, so I can't show you. I do have some pictures of it. I'll try to inset it if I can figure out how to do all that. Filter was glitter bombed. So, not to keep repeating myself, but he said, first let's yank it, see if we can refresh it, see if anything needs machined. Roger. Then he said, change his mind, let's yank it. I'll bring you an LS. Well, LS swap it. Roger. Then he said, well, let's, before I order all this LS stuff, let's tear it apart and see what's actually wrong with it. So here we are. I'm gonna knock this bitch apart. But here's my curiosity is why are these 2 messed up? And, if it's hard to see because it's, dark in color against a dark color, but the two ears on the guide plates are also broken off. So here's the 3 obvious issues with exhaust valves. So I don't know the entire history on this engine. All I do know, this was a boat motor, it had a blower on it, it was in a boat, and it ended up in this car. And he said he's had maybe 200-300 miles on the car, and just been nothing but problems. So here we are. I'm not extremely well versed in valve train, so this is not an immediate to me. I don't have an immediate reaction to this. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, that I'm willing to find out, and that's why we're here together. So maybe a couple of ideas. You know, this big block, you do have staggered push rods. Maybe our push rod length a little off. I don't know, but I wouldn't think that would be extremely crucial. It's not fixed like an LS, right? These are adjustable push rods. You set lash on them. So if the these are adjustable valve rockers, I should say. So if your push rod lengths are a little off, you can make it up with lash. You know what I mean? I would think. Now, could be wrong, but that's just my thought. I'm a novice in all this. That's my full frame disclosure. I am a novice. I'm not a professional. I have a couple of years in my backyard dicking around with stuff. Not the expert, okay? Do have some experience on some stuff, and some stuff I will nail to the wall every single day of the week. This is not one of them. So we're just going on a journey. Resume. So maybe when we get this thing further apart, we'll have some concrete evidence on what's going on. But you know, I'm going to be very cautious in pulling this apart with identification. I'm going to, you know, every rocker is going to get labeled so they can be investigated. And then some of these things, like you see, obviously this squared off rocker would not clear the valve cover here. So they notched it some. I guess there were some issues along the lines here. So I'm going to identify those, I'll mark them, and you know, keep everything in order. So as the diagnostic process evolves, we know exactly where everything was. And you know, maybe it would be easier to trace something down. So that's all I got for now. I'll get you updated again. We'll get the valve train off, get the heads off, get this bitch flipped over, oil pan off, get the timing cover off, get the cam out, and then get into the crankshaft. So I don't have anything to set my phone up. I'm starting to record off my phone, so this is just how it's going to be for now. I got some stuff on the way, make the cinematography of this a little bit better, but for now, just bear with me, and it'll be just, you know, successive updates. So thank you. So I got these heavy ass heads off, and I went to rotate it over, and it's a big block, cast iron, it's heavy. So I had the handle pulled to one side to give me leverage, and I rotated, and then like the weight took over, and this thing like went around a quarter of rotation, you know, it was whatever. So when this was coming around here, and dude, I don't know how the hell I didn't just sever my fingers on that. And the worst I got out of it was, where's the camera? Was that little nick, that little bloody knuckle. Whew, dude, that was close. So I think I'll spend a couple dollars and get the one with the crank rotator to keep that from happening again, because I need my digits. Anyway, got the oil pan off, got all the slop draining. Here's a little trick for you. Go to the Lowe's, the Home Depot, or whatever, and get these concrete mixing tubs, like $15, I think. So about the same price as these little drain pans, but takes up a hell of a lot more room. And, you can catch most of it. I didn't, as you can see, but for the most part, it helps. So we're gonna finish. I'm gonna finish knocking this bottom end apart, get everything laid out up here on my toolbox table. The bottom of this oil pan looks like crap. But other than that, I'm not seeing, this is the cylinder that wasn't firing. This one's a little odd because it's like almost, or is that a shadow? Well, I guess that might be a shadow from, okay, yeah, I'm just tripping. You see how it's like cut in half? I guess that's a shadow. Yep, that's a shadow. All right, then. So, anyway, we're gonna finish knocking this thing apart and see what these bearing surfaces look like before we hit the bedtime. So, stay tuned. So, I'm not exactly sure on it. If those are supposed to have that much slop in them. I don't think so, but could be wrong. So, before I take them off, just documenting that. Oh, I need to take the timer set off too. I'll get to that. But, yeah, I just wanted to identify that slop. I mean, that's a good bit of play. All right, dude. So all the pistons are out, and if you're picking up on that, every one of them has some light. I mean, it's fingernail catching, but I don't see anything extreme in there. But everything does look kind of brand new, but looks old at the same time, if that makes any kind of sense. And the journals show some scuffing, which might need a polish. I mean, what's up with this kind of stuff right here? I don't know. So, in the filter mesh material, whatever, there was some, I don't know if it was copper or brass or bronze or whatever kind of bushing material. I mean, I pulled the cam out, and the number 1 cam bearing doesn't look bad at all. Like, again, there's one, but I mean, I can't even, it's a mark, but it's nothing, so. Smoking gun's not here yet. So I'm gonna take these main caps off, get the crank out of it, and see if our culprit's in there. One thing really quick. Sweet. Let me get the fat hand out the way. I'm not feeling crazy thrust or anything. There's a little bit. I wouldn't say it's anything extreme. I don't have it memorized, I don't know. For some reason, 20 thousandths is in my head, but I don't know what the hell that's from. That don't look like 20 thou. Could be wrong though, my micrometer eyes. But Dude, I hate working in a mess. This is the worst. I like clean. Part of the game, I reckon. So anyway, I'm gonna knock these caps off. See if we can find our smoking gun. If you look down some of these cylinder walls, there's too much glare on it. And, you know, whatever. I'll get them cleaned up and show. But there is some like skirt grooving down every one of them. I don't know if that's picking up. Nah, it looks like in the camera you're seeing a lot of oil. But this one's got some pretty good on it. This was our cylinder that wasn't firing. It doesn't look too bad, but there is some good what you call it, scratches going up and down the bore. Another thing is the other 7 have a good oil coat on it. That one does not. You know what I mean? Like there's good oil coat there, oil coat. It's not picking up, it's too dark. Oil coat, oil. And this has got like some thin shit on there. So I don't know what that means, if anything, just observing and reporting. So I'm out of breath. Let me knock these off, see what we see. So cranks out. Dude, I don't know. They all got a little bit of scuffing on them. Like you can see this one's on the outside lips, on the outside. Yeah, a little bit through the center there. This looks fine. That would be the only thing with any kind of brass or bronze or whatever the hell it is that could, I mean, I'm not seeing that coloration anywhere else. You know, these mains look like they need to be polished. The rod journals could definitely use a polishing. But there's no smoking gun in here. I don't know. The one thing that is like really sticking to me though is the oil smells very burnt. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what you're smelling right now. That like this shit got extremely hot. You know what I mean? Just that burnt oil smell. That's what I'm getting when I'm missing the hints of the gas fumes. It smells really burnt. I don't know, man. This one might have to go to a machinist with some real world expertise, because I don't know. I don't see anything down in here. Like I said, just the light scratches throughout, and that's probably the starts of the pieces working through here, but this does not answer for what was found in the oil filter. The mains look better than the rods. I don't know. And then, the cam, I know I'm stuttering, huh? The cam doesn't look bad. There's a couple places, but, it doesn't look terrible. There's some spots there, but who knows how old this cam is, or what it even is. I didn't see if there was a number on it. There is, what does that say? Some kind of custom grind. Let's see if we can make that out. So, I don't know what it is, but something wacky has happened in here to account for what happened in the valve train, for one, and Dude, I don't know what's up with the material in the filter. I don't see it up in here. And if this is mine, you know, I'm definitely having it taken to the machine shop, and all of this scoring. I mean, can you hear it? Every one of them. So something's not right with this combination. I don't have the tooling, you know, I got some basic bullshit, you know, whatever, it ain't worth showing off. So I can't give you, or, you know, I can't give the customer either, the kind of measurements that are going to need to be done. You know, I could put the rings in the bore and check ring gap and, you know, whatever, man. I can give you some loose stuff, but for whatever's going on inside this engine is going to be above what I got going on. I mean, I'm no precision expert. Can you see better now? I'm no expert in the precision side of things. I'm an assembler. I will slap together, I say slap. I know how to assemble an engine, but the technical ins and outs and the precision machine work, not me. So it's late. I don't think it's almost 11. Tomorrow's Easter, whatever. So I'll give him a holler tomorrow, see what's up, see what he wants to say. I would probably be, I mean, I'm hoping he's not disappointed that I didn't find anything. Maybe good, maybe bad. I mean, I did find something, but I don't find a smoking gun here. I do find enough evidence to justify taking this thing apart. I do see enough that this thing should go to a machine shop. But I don't know. I don't know where all that material came from in the gasket, in the oil filter. So that's going to be something that's on him. We'll find out tomorrow what the answer is, and we'll go from there.